for me, like obviously the money is great. We all want high cash flow, especially as investors, but those stories and know that you're part of someone's life and you actually see it like personally through the communication, or if you ever see them in person, like it's like, there's nothing like it within real estate.
Yeah. I mean, it's the greatest return on investment you could ask for, right? I mean, I say that our hosts come for the income and stay for the impact. And like most people who are not real estate investors don't understand, and they still look at like landlords as terrible. But like when you're in it, man, it's hard for not to get to you. And in the seat that I am now, like I see a steady feed every day from reviews or members that are reporting in saying like this changed my life. And I mean, I think about like my own story. I mean, again, I was 30 grand, didn't even have hardly a 600 credit score, and I was able to buy a house then. Well, if I take me fast forward 25 years and like I'm living in a pad split room right now, that's probably it. That's going to be me for a long time, right? So it's really just like I think everybody deserves a shot, whether or not they take that shot and whether or not they're like caring of the home and they're paying on time. Like a lot of that stuff is up to them. And I really believe in individual responsibility and just making good choices. But creating those opportunities, like that's just a thing that we should do. This is freaking America, you know? So yes, what we thrive on doing every day. And the rest is like, look, if we can align incentives and make housing both more affordable and more profitable at the same time, that's the definition of a win-win. For our hosts is like, look, we got to do three things really well. And this has been true from the get-go. You nailed one of them, which is just, I got to fill your rooms faster than anybody else you can. And we do. Right. I think by and large, we pay for ourselves just in the time that we can fill a room versus what you would fill it on your own. And then the second thing is collections and payments processing, where one of the secrets to this business that I realized very early on was you can underwrite someone who's much lower income simply by making payments easier. And what I mean by that is, so we're recording this on a Wednesday. Like I know today's Wednesday. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what day May 1st is or what day of the week June 1st is. And the entire rental industry assumes that you're going to have somebody who you know is working, living paycheck to paycheck. And you're going to say, I'm not going to include your utilities. I'm not going to include your furniture. And so you have now 6 different bills that you've got to pay and organize. But you're supposed to prioritize this payment on the first above all others. And what I saw as a property manager running all these apartments and houses was that it was really easy to get mixed up. And like I have the benefit of keeping most of my bills on auto pay, but if I didn't, like it would be a lot to keep up with. But making those weekly payments makes it much easier for folks to pay on time, and why our effective collections rate has never dropped below 97.5%. Today it's actually almost 99%, and that's really attributable in my mind to all-inclusive weekly payments. But that also means if you got a house with 6 people, well, that's more than 25 payments per month that you're having to keep track of. And if somebody gets behind because they're changed jobs or they were in a car accident or whatever, it just gets really complex really quickly. And so that's the second piece of what we do. And then the third piece is just roommate issues and being the first point of triage for dealing with any sort of co-living specific issue. And even beyond that into like maintenance triage, where somebody reports a maintenance ticket, it goes through our system and reports to wherever the owner wants it to go. But we can also handle Johnny stole my peanut butter, Susie's playing music, etc. And we have a lot of interventions around there where we're taking 60,000 calls a month from those residents, so that owners, not that they won't get any, but they'll get a lot fewer than they would ordinarily.
What's the most common one for roommate complaints?
Cleanliness.
Cleanliness, yeah,
definitely the most common. I always laugh. A lot of these companies think, oh, well, I'm going to create a matching algorithm. We're going to just match people that are alike. Well, guess what? What we found is 94% of people say they're clean.
Yeah, no one's gonna be like, yeah, I'm dirty, I'm checking that
exactly So like, how do you figure that out, and what do you do? And the reason why I think it's important that we exist as a marketplace, assume it's like a serious conflict. And the only way you can really determine if it's serious or not, because like he said, she said all the time, right? But as a marketplace, the most powerful tool that we have is the ability to give those residents choice to make their own decisions and vote with their feet. To say, okay, look, like Jesse, you and me might be roommates, and you're complaining about me because I don't know, I keep wearing my Jason mask and carrying around an axe or something, right? Well, like maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But if I go to you, Jesse, as pad split and say, okay, Jesse, like we understand Atticus is really scary. Here's a free transfer. You can go anywhere else in the city or anywhere else in the country. Well, if you don't move, guess what? Then that's on you and you own that decision. But if I'm really a scary guy, and you're terrified for your life, or I'm just really, really dirty, like you're going to move. And then we can start tracking, well, how many people have moved away from Atticus because he's a scary guy? Then, guess what? He's got to go. Most hosts can recognize that as well. But yeah, like that's a huge part of what we do. And I think a benefit of kind of being a marketplace versus just an individual owner.